Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Midweek War. It's me, Mad Mike. I'm here to talk Impact Wrestling. Apologies about the past 2 weeks, folks. Thanksgiving and toy store schedules have really gotten the better of me, and to be honest, I'm glad I'm back. Not glad I'm talking about Impact necessarily, but I'm glad I'm back here with you guys talking about the midweek of professional wrestling. Past 2 weeks of Impact, honestly, it was difficult for me to watch, not for the normal reasons, but my DVR decided to record only parts of the episodes, or some not at all. But there was some interesting stuff. A lot of the stuff I liked with Matt Hardy, him getting his memory back. I learned that Vanguard 1 and I have very similar attitudes when it comes to drinking establishments. But yeah, there was some fun stuff in there. Eli Drake loses his voice for the rest of 2016, which might be a bigger deal if it was more than 3 shows. But, we take what we can get at this point. But moving on to this week. My word for this week is championships, because there are a lot of them. And I just remembered there's even one I forgot to put in the description. I will have to do that post-show. But yeah, Impact... Again, there are 4 championship matches this week. 4. Yeah, All right, we'll get going. The good. I will go with the good because we always have to give a good to TNA. Not exactly sure where to go with it this week, but I'll give it to the triple threat match. The X Division title. The team go for broke because they won a match last week. The one that DJZ only had to face 2 guys instead of 3 for his X Division title. And they did a nice little promo bit where they're all like, hey, it's every man for himself in this match, but whoever wins, I'll be friends. Whoever wins, I'll be friends. Same old thing that you've seen guys do all the time. And DJZ is able to sneak out and win. It was a fun match, very well wrestled, and then Mandrews attacks him after the match in his injured knee. Now, I don't know if this was something that, because Zima's injury was a little bit more severe than they thought, so they have to do something about it. But it seemed out of nowhere. Mandrews is not necessarily what I would call a strong character. He seems like the beta version of Rockstar Spud. But who knows? It could be something interesting. I would have liked to see... I would have liked to hear what they were saying a little bit more. Like maybe use some microphones. But I guess that's not really in the cards. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun match. It was a really good match. Interesting turn at the end. DJZ still remained champion. So, who knows? Maybe he'll have to relinquish the belt just like Gail Kim did. No idea. The bad. I'm going to go with the Grand Championship match, which is the one I forgot about because I don't care about it at all. We opened the show with Aaron Rex coming out, and I swore, and I apologize to my listeners, but if Aaron Rex was fighting Jesse Garza again for that fucking belt, I would have turned Impact off right away and just done a 10-minute podcast about soup. I don't know, about something. I'm not sure what I would have done a podcast about. I would have labeled it Impact Wrestling. I would have talked about something completely different. Maybe just about the Hardys. I don't know. But luckily, it was not against Jesse Goddard. Thankfully. It was against Moose. Moose, not a bad choice. However, what the fuck? We're building up Aaron Rex for weeks. Cheating to win. And he gets beat in less than 2 minutes. By the way, that was Aaron Rex's first loss in TNA. And it was so glossed over. So much so that I forgot about it. And it's also Moose's first championship in TNA. Also completely glossed over. Uh, yeah, I don't get at all. I don't think we've had one of these championship matches go to a decision, which I think you really should at a certain point. But this grand championship thing is ridiculous. They should just stop it now. Have Moose rename it to something else. Have him rename it to the Moose Championship title. Like, I don't know, just something. It just needs to go away. My change this week. My change goes to someone in the production crew and or Matt and Jeff Hardy. Someone please needs to change and decide if he is Brother Nero or if he is Jeff Hardy. It's not Clark Kent and Superman. You have to be one of them. You can't be both. He was introduced as Jeff Hardy in the beginning of the show. During the tag title match, he was introduced as Brother Nero. Keep in mind, Jeff Hardy did not act any differently. If he acted differently, I can let that slide. I can let that slide completely. But he wasn't acting like the broken Brother Nero, the obsolete Brother Nero. Like, he wasn't acting like that. He was just Jeff Hardy and his fucking wife beater. I'm sorry, tank top. Same thing. You guys know what I mean. But yeah. And they had a match with DCC, and the Hardys won. Real nice dominant heel stable we had there, huh? You could have at least had it end in like a DQ or something like that, but nope. Clean as a whistle. My real change is, if I was TNA, I would never let the Hardys have a match in the Impact Zone again. They should only have interview segments in the Impact Zone. Every match should be at the compound. Everything. Like, they shouldn't even leave the compound because the Hardys are so much more entertaining when they're at that compound. Because it doesn't translate. Because Jeff doesn't want to play the role in front of his creatures. I don't know. It's just odd. A few other things I'll talk about. We have EC3. He's going to be challenging for the world title next week. Please win, because Eddie Edwards is boring as fuck. He really is. I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of people out there who like Eddie Edwards. I think he's perfectly cromulent. He is not a great talker, and he is not the best world champion that I've ever seen in my life. EC3 needs that belt back ASAP. TNA needs him to have it. But no, Eli Drake will probably cost EC3 the belt. Because that's all we can do in TNA is distraction finishes. And the main event was Jade versus Rosemary in a steel cage match for the knockout style. It was a fine match. Madison Rain, I love you, Madison Rain. I really do. Please stay the fuck away from commentary. Please. It was no bueno. It was not good. The match was fine. Rosemary got the win after a miss to the face. And Josh called it the mist of transformation. It was probably just Josh not saying the right thing, because they tend to do that. But, and this is a huge but with TNA, if that mist actually does transform Rosemary into Jade into something, let's have it be something interesting, please. Because just Jade is not interesting at all. Because she's Gail Kim 2.0. And they literally said that a bunch of times during the match. And it's kind of awful. Let's see, anything else that happened on Impact? We had one backstage segment with Eli Drake where he didn't talk, and it wasn't entertaining like I wanted it to be. I wanted him to start learning mime. I wanted him to do something funny. No. I hope we get some more funny stuff like that. Either that or, God, when they have the Impact at the compound, please let Eli Drake speak through Vanguard 1. Please. I haven't asked much, TNA. Let that happen. But we also had a Oh, this Maria, Laurel Van Ness and Allie thing. I love Allie. Allie, I think, is doing a great job with this whole angle. Maria is doing okay with it. Laurel Van Ness. Um, I I don't even know what to do with this. It's just really odd because, like, how is how is Braxton Sutter not commented on this at all? Because there's only two ways this is going. Either Laurel is telling completely the truth and Braxton turns heel, or Laurel's been talking out her ass the whole time and Braxton has just been sitting in the back twiddling his thumbs saying nothing. I don't know where it goes, neither of which are very interesting. Uh I don't know. I mean, maybe if Braxton was the X Division champion, if he won that match, this could lead to something with Mike Bennett, which, I mean, we've seen before, but it could be okay again, I guess. I don't know. I would just stop doing, like, why doesn't Maria care about the Knockouts title anymore? It's very curious. She didn't even care a rematch. Granted, there'd be no one to have a rematch against because Gail is retired. No idea. But yeah, the Knockouts division's an absolute mess. It's a train wreck. Granted, most of TNA is a train wreck, but the Knockouts division especially. Oh yeah, and there was something with Al and Shira. You don't need to worry about. But yeah, so that's it. Rankings this week. Impact. I'm gonna go number 4. Sorry, I saw 205 live, which we may have to incorporate that into the midweek war. We might have to. It was really great. But yeah, Impact's number 4. Sorry, bro. Yeah. But if you want to catch me on Twitter, I'm MadMike4883. If you want to follow my live tweeting of Impact Wrestling, you can hit up the hashtag MM if you follow at Mayhem Show. Whenever I do get around to watch Impact, I do live tweet it because I need to vent my frustration about it somehow. Otherwise, this would just be a lot of angry shouting into a microphone, and no one wants to listen to that. All right, so before I go, I want to let you guys know we have a very special treat for fans of the Midweek War. On the Lucha Underground episode, I had a very extensive chat with executive producer Eric Van Wagenen, and we talked a lot about Lucha. He had some fun stories. Really, really great. I know it's a long listen, but trust me, it's worth it, you guys. All right. So for Mad Mike, I'm Mad Mike, and we'll be back next week to talk more Impact on the Midweek War.